Good afternoon, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to another episode of our Infitech 2 modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, if you recall, the last few episodes we have been working on tech, building a few multi-blocks and stuff over there. Since then, I have done a lot of Thaumcraft, you may have noticed. We've got void jars all lined up. I was hoping that this pack had oblivion jars, but it does not. So I had to go ahead and use void jars, and got I think most of the aspects that I'm familiar with. I got those added in to here with labels. I got this opened up. I did upgrade this to, let me see. Yes. I got it upgraded quite a bit to a 31 stability. So I think I could have swore 25 was the highest. But the abacus is saying we've got 31, which it may just read 31, and 25 might be the highest actual useful stability. I don't know. Or maybe that's changed over time. I don't know. But then I also got some iron golems crafted. I was going to do thaumium golems. But if we take a look in here, you will notice that thaumium golems require these tier 1 memories cards. And those require printed circuit boards. So I decided to pass up on those, I guess. The iron ones, however, aren't that bad. Blocks of iron, some wrought iron stuff, and then those EEPROMs that we crafted before. So I went ahead and went with that. And then I also got a couple animation cores for alchemy crafted up. If you notice, those aren't terrible either. The decanting is just 5 aqua and 5 vacuos in the alchemical construct. A warded jar, an HV electric pump, and then a couple thick potions and mundane potions. So those aren't terrible either. And yeah, that's been about it. And by the way, the thick potions are just water bottles and glowstone, and the mundane, of course, is yeah, those are just standard Minecraft, so not a big deal. And the brewing stand does require arcane stone blocks, by the way. That's what I was wanting to point out, was that's a little bit different than standard, but even still, it's not too bad. So I've got all of that laid out. I got the iron golems crafted. Now, I haven't got these set up just yet because I was waiting for you guys. And we'll set these up together. That way we can have all these alchemical furnaces running and our golems just unloading to this whole giant room here. Now, this will get moved. I'm actually planning on building kind of like an exterior type decking or something, and that is where our arcane infusion altar is going to be, I think, because this room does feel a little bit crowded. I could probably add a couple more pedestals, but then it's going to feel even more crowded. So it's not really ideal. So we're going to move this, and we're actually going to set up our alchemical decanting room, I guess you would call it, out there as well. So I was going to work on that, but I spent so long doing Thaumcraft stuff. I did a ton of research in the book here, like a lot. You'll notice Artifice, we've got a decent ways down through that. Also, we did start getting into the Eldritch stuff. You'll notice that we have a Crimson Rites book, and I waited for you guys to pop that. I did end up grinding a lot, and then I used all the Crimson Cult stuff to repair each other. Got that stuff all fixed, and you can actually use iron for the leftover pieces to kind of get that topped off. We also got a couple titles for Crimson Cult and Crimson Knight, which it's weird. I haven't equipped one of these yet, but they say Title, Crimson Cult. There's Crimson Knight and Crimson Cultist version. I guess that's maybe what they drop off of or something. We got a few Void Seeds. We got some Knowledge Fragments. We got some research I can't complete yet. So quite a bit of stuff since last episode. I also grinded up a bit more Ethereal Essence. I had to cook up some for the Arum that we have over there, but let's go ahead and use this book. And we got some more Warp, which is great. Now, I will say my Eldritch Epiphany actually happened when I got a Tier 3 Flux Flu. So our Eldritch isn't too terrible, but we're going to start diving into this stuff just a little bit this episode. So we're actually getting into the really, really good Thaumcraft stuff. But first up, let's go ahead and we're going to give our Iron Golem, we're going to give them their alchemy cores. And let's get these guys, of course, linked up here. No, stop it. Okay. We're going to say you're going to go there to there. And there to there. And here to here. Because basically it'll attach all these ones that are linked. We don't have to individually select all of these, which is great. And I guess I'm going to link those up too, just in case. I'm not sure if those will count. Yeah. So we got a room full of shit. Okay. So now if I was to, let's say, throw in, are we full on metallum? No, we have a little bit of space. So let's get some of this, which I know we're going to need a bit of it this episode, so I'm not too concerned about it. You know, getting a few of that. So let's test this out. Okay, welcome back. I honestly have no clue. I don't know. I mean, they're all set up, and I've tried even telling them to go straight over to, you know, this particular jar, and I mean nothing works. Which, granted, I know that the range-wise, they're not going to be able to hit this far just yet. But even if I tell them, like, go to here, they just ignore me. And, you know, I was thinking we'll give them a range upgrade. We're going to try that. But honestly, I have no clue. Because, I mean, the way it's supposed to work, they're supposed to pull from the whole stack of Alembics just straight out from the furnace and take them over to any warded jars or void jars and put the items in. But they just don't work. I don't know. But let's really quickly, let's make a range upgrade for these. Which, if I recall, is it Earth? No, that's carry weight. Yeah. Okay, it's the blue, the water upgrades. So let's get like 12 aqua shards. And grab my wand really quick. And let's get, oops, wrong spot. One thing I hate about these tables, you can't just pick all your items up. Okay. Get that crafted. And let's nope, they're still retarded. Yep, I think so. It's ridiculous. Like, okay. I don't know. Because the reason I have these laid out this way is they should be able to climb these all the way up. Of course, the one I'm trying to send them to is on the bottom level. So I don't know. Let's try this again. Try it again. I have no clue. Anyway, that's how it should work. But if anybody has any idea why it's not working, feel free to let me know. But I've set it up like this in the past and had no issues with it. But I don't know. Anyway, the other thing I was wanting to make them was actually some bow ties. So, of course, to do that, we're going to need a bit of black wool. I've got some ink, and I've got some string. So let's just really, really quickly make this stuff up. They may not work, but they'll be finely dressed. And oh, I didn't think about it. It's probably going to be different to make black wool. I actually should have some. Yeah, I've got some lying around, I think, from back in the day. So give me just a second. Let me find that because it might take a minute. And I'll see you guys in just a second. Oh, never mind. There was black wool in that first chest that I opened, and plenty of it. So, the way bow ties work, generally, assuming that they are working, is they're going to make these guys move a bit faster. So, let's get 3 of these. We're going to give them their little bow ties. And there we go. I really wish they would work. That's kind of bothering me. Maybe if I move this. Please work. Please work. Damn it, work. Anyway, I'm gonna set this in here actually. Okay. Well, that kind of bumps me out, honestly. That means I'm gonna have to do it manually for right now. The next thing I was wanting to get into, because, you know, as it stands right now, we don't really have good armor. The armor that we have is very subpar stuff, and so I was wanting to get into the Thaumium Fortress armor. Because, of course, this is a very, very strong armor, and will definitely carry us quite a good ways, you know, into the Outer Lands and everything, with this armor. So, I've got a bit of Thaumium made up. Let me go grab some leather and gold and things like that we're going to need. I think we're going to need gold, an emerald, some leather. Yeah, that's the main things. And then this Thaumium armor. So, give me just a second to get a few items together, and I will be right. Okay, welcome back. So we're gonna need Tutamen, Percantio, and Metallum for each of these. Now, Percantio we've got right here. I'm just gonna leave it here because that should be able to extract from there. Now, the Metallum, we'll bring that over, and let's see. Actually, I'm going to just bring them all over. So we've got them kind of separated. And then there's this. Okay. And we'll just lay these out in this room here. Just that way we can keep an eye on it. And let's see. So for the headpiece, we'll go ahead and start with that. We're going to need to go ahead and craft a Thaumium helm to start with. And no, that's not how we make it. Oh, duh. We need plates. Okay. So let me go. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought I could make armor without plates. Let me get these plates made up. I'll go ahead and make enough to make all the pieces. So give me just a second, and I'll be back. Oh, okay, welcome back. So now we should be good to go to get these crafted. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and craft the other pieces as well while we're at it. Okay. And these do have a decent amount of instability. No, they don't. I lied. They're minor. I was thinking of something else. The faceplates, yeah. Alright, so let's lay this out now. So for the helmet, we are going to need 2 thaumium, 2 gold, and an emerald. So, let me put some of these things down here. So we'll need 2 thaumium and 2 gold. And then the emerald we'll just put here, I guess. Then we'll get that running. I don't know if it was trying to be a little bit unstable there or what was going on. It's getting its groove on though. Alright. Now this armor, especially once we get it enchanted, is going to be a huge boost to us as far as combat related stuff goes. You know, the defensive aspect of things. And that's kind of what I wanted to do this episode, because we've been going so long just running on steel and iron armor, and you know there's other metals that we could use that are better, you know, technically. But this is like the first really good armor set that we can craft, I feel like. Because a lot of the tech-based pieces are kind of out of our reach, as far as, you know, being realistic about it. I was actually looking at making some of the low tier like IC2 stuff, and it's still a little ways off on that. So then we're going to need 4 thaumium for this. So we'll try to lay this out pretty stable like. And then a piece of gold and a piece of leather. And I think we're still good. 32 metallum. Yeah, we're good. Okay. And we'll let that one run. Hopefully all of it goes off without any kind of a hitch. And also, once we get the faceplates on this armor, that's one thing about that armor. I really love the way it looks, and it really actually kind of fits in with our theme too. It's almost like a it kind of reminds me of when I was actually in Japan. We went to a place that was kind of close to Mount Fuji. We were staying there at Mount Fuji, and there was this village, and I can't think of the name of it, but it was set up to be like a feudal Japanese village. And that's actually where, if you're familiar with feudal Japan's history at all, Shingen Takeda, his armor was actually housed there in this village, and we actually went and got to see it and everything. And that's really what this armor kind of reminds me of, is Shingen Takeda's armor, especially with like the red faceplate, I guess, would be about the closest. But it was actually kind of funny because, you know, when we were there and everything, and I was looking at the armor, the size difference, like you know, I'm like average height for you know, a male, I guess, and the height difference, I guess, you know, people got shorter over time. I mean, taller over time and everything. But also, you know, of course, he was a Japanese guy, so generally they're shorter. Now, that's not always the case, granted, but generally speaking. And the height difference was quite a bit, actually, between me and the armor. So it was kind of funny standing there, you know, whenever we took the picture and all. Alright, so we're going to need 3 thaumium, a piece of leather, and a piece of gold. But yeah, we may end up... Oh. I didn't put the legs on there. We may end up making some extra sets of this armor. You know, once the items aren't really a big deal for us. Thaumium, honestly, thaumium isn't really a big deal. None of the items that this recipe uses is really a major issue. Emeralds aren't bad. If you notice, I have quite a bit of those right now. That's because when I was running around grinding cultists, crimson cultists, they drop reward bags decently often for me. And those reward bags seem to tend to have emeralds in them. Emeralds, diamonds, we have quite a bit of diamonds now. So we did alright on resources as far as that stuff goes. Alright, so we got the set now. Now you'll notice this doesn't give us any kind of a V discount, so it's not going to be for our arcane crafting. But now we've got ourselves a nice little thaumic Japanese armor set. So pretty beastin'. I really love the detail on this armor and everything. Now next up we are going to try to get ourselves a faceplate. Just because. And we may try to put runic on this stuff as well. So, where did my hood go? This, I don't understand. This was a hood that I was wearing. And now it's not a hood. Why is it not a hood anymore? What the hell? Did it just screw me over on... I can't recall, honestly. No, it was just... It just changed. And now I feel all wrong. Well... I don't know. We had a hood on our head. Anyway, I'll try to figure that out later. I'll try to figure the golems out later, because they should be working, but they're not, and I don't really understand why that is. But anyway, let's try to make ourselves a faceplate. Now, keep in mind, this is a very high instability rate. So, the one I'm thinking about going for, like, there's the Grinning Devil that lowers the effects of warp. Basically, it's not going to reduce how often it occurs, but your severity is going to be a lot lower. So, you're not going to get the really, really bad ones as much. The Angry Ghost, whenever enemies hit you, they have a chance to get withering. But the Sipping Fiend is the one that I really, really like, because whenever you hit enemies, you have a chance to drain some of their life. Which is kind of nice. Now, we are going to need a gas tier for that. 64 Victus, 16 Tudaman, and 64 Examinus. Or Exanimus, sorry. So let me go see if we have a gas tier really, really quick. And see about getting some of these items together. And I'll be back in just a second. Okay, welcome back. I do apologize. I forgot to... I guess hit the record button, because when I got to the end of the recording, I was like, okay, well, I hope you join me for next episode, blah, 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 and hit to stop recording, and it started recording. So, I do apologize about that. You will notice that I crafted the faceplate, and you'll notice there's goggles of revealing underneath that. That is an addition that you can add. Now, it doesn't actually take up a faceplate slot. Of course, you can only have one faceplate, but you can still add the goggles of revealing onto your helmet, thus giving it that ability as well. Also, I crafted a runic shielding belt. That's the +10. That's the strongest of the bunch, but we are going to craft a couple of the rings here in a second. And then I also crafted this void linked belt. Now this is from Witching Gadgets. It's a really, really nice item if you're like me and you hate dealing with, like, say, cobblestone or something. You can craft this with just a couple of void seeds, some cloth of spacious folds, and a bag of tricks, a little bit of Perdito, Vacuos, and Alienus Essentia. And now the way this works, let's go out here for just a second. And we'll go to the same place where I was messing with it and demonstrating it earlier. So if we were to, let's say, grab just a little bit of this cobble, and we were to add it in to this filter. You'll notice there's 18 slots in this filter. And from here on out, if we were to pick up cobblestone, so let's mine up a bunch of this, and you'll notice that we don't get any cobble into our inventory. That is thanks to this void linked bag. So very, very nice item. Once again, I do apologize. I didn't get that on camera. I thought I was recording, and I totally didn't. Totally wasn't. So, sorry about that. So, to make the runic shielding stuff, it's pretty much the same items regardless of what tier you're what item you're crafting. It's going to be the same 8 items. It's just going to be a different piece and different essentia values. So the belt, of course, is the highest, so it requires quite a bit of essentia, double what the rings require. Now we're going to go ahead and craft 2 of the rings. Now you'll notice that they take 2 different colors of runic voidstone. You need light gray and you need orange. Of course, that crafts 8 at a time, so 1 craft and you have enough, assuming you don't have any issues, you have enough to craft a full set of jewelry. So it's not too bad. That's just mainly an ender pearl and some obsidian and some stone. Primal Charm we've covered before. Ventium we've covered before. Amber's pretty self-explanatory. Enchanted Fabric. Pyrotheum Dust is very, very simple. I've had to craft it for lights and stuff in the past. It's not hard. And then Nitor is also not an issue. So I've got all that stuff prepped here. Let's grab a bit of this stuff. And now keep in mind that the pyrotheum will damage you as you hold it. So just keep that in mind. It'll drive you insane. And there's that. And that. And that. Okay. And we'll put our Nitor, our pyrotheum, our rune stone stuff, and then our Ventium, our fabric, our primal charm, and our amber, just like so. And let's get this going. Go. Well, you know, mundane ring. Well, okay. Let me put this pyrotheum down for just a second. I have no clue what it's doing and why it's doing it. So we've got a mundane ring. Right, mundane ring, primal charm, Ventium, amber. Alright. Sorry, we're having some issues here. We didn't have any issues crafting the belt. It just crafted right out. Primal Charm. Ventium Amber. Enchanted Fabric. Pyrotheum Niter. Yeah, well, that's good. We've got our different colors of Runic Voidstone. Brown and light gray. It was the same for the ring, correct? No, we need orange. Oh, my bad. That's the problem. Okay. It went from brown to orange. So, keep that in mind. Okay. So now we should be back in business. So let's move all this junk around. There we go. Now we're going. Let me grab this pyrotheum just in case we need it. I need to actually put a chest up in this room. That would probably be a good idea. Now, when we did the belt, we didn't have any issue at all. And, of course, it did have to drain even more Essentia than this. So, we shouldn't have too much of a problem. But then again, it is all RNG. But our runic matrix is pretty stable, so I'm not too concerned about it. But we'll see. So, it's almost done getting the Essentia. And now it's getting the items. And the way, if you're not familiar with the way runic shielding works, it's really awesome because if you're familiar with like a lot of FPS games like Halo, for example, you'll have a shield that will burn down. Now if you notice my health, those runes are slowly burning down. That's pretty much how runic shielding works. So, well, we got our first one. Let's grab that and let's lay this stuff out again. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go put up this pyrotheum because it's going to drive me insane. Okay. But it works pretty much like a shield would in, say, Halo. In that... What? No, go. In that as your HP drops... it's going to, or as you take damage, it's going to use up that shield before it affects your HP at all. So, it's very handy to have that. Because it does give us a buffer for our health and stuff. Something is following me again. And we still got our 32s. Yep, we're good to go. And we'll get that running. So let's throw on our new rune of... a ring of runic shielding. And let's see. Yeah, see, we've got 10 runes right there. If we throw on the ring, it it kind of looks like it goes down, but it's not. Some of those will take double hits to use that up. So definitely very handy. Now, in addition to just having the rings and the belt and all that stuff, there are upgrades for these. And we're going to try to get into these fairly soon. Like, for example, this charged ring of shielding is really nice. You get an increased recharge time. I tend to try to get 2 of these and run those because then you're going to have 50% recharge speed. So... those shields are going to build back up fairly quickly. And there's our second ring. So let's throw that on. So we now have 10 runic or 20 runic shielding. So we just need the necklace at this point. And then there's the revitalizing ring. You get a regenerative boost whenever your shield goes down. There is the belt. And this one, whenever your shield goes down, you get a big detonation of energy that knocks stuff back. And then emergency shielding gives you charge to your shielding when it's breached, and it can do that once per minute. So all of these are really, really nice. Now you will notice that, like for example, the amulet has 8, but if you upgrade it only has 7. The belt goes from 10 to 9, and the rings go from 5 to 4. However, honestly, the benefits of running those upgraded versions far outweigh the downsides to it, I would say. But that's my personal opinion on it. So I do believe I'm going to end the episode out there, though. Once again, I do apologize that that we didn't. I wasn't recording for part of that there. So I do apologize about that. And I also apologize the golems don't seem to be working. Now you'll notice that they've pulled their jars out and they're like, hey, we just realized we're supposed to be doing this. But I still can't get them to work. I don't know. Theoretically, they should just take the jars over there and do their job, but they're not. So I'm not sure. But I will keep messing with them. Hopefully get them figured out by next episode. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so I hope you guys join me for next episode. Next episode we will probably be working on tech a bit more. Between this episode and next, so I'm going to try to get a bit of building done. I'm going to try to keep working on our runic shielding stuff a little bit. Honestly, the armor upgrades that we've got in this episode are going to help us out a ton as far as combat goes. Like, I really feel like we could actually go out and like do some combat related things now, you know, higher than just beating on some mobs, like maybe take on some bosses or something, perhaps. But it won't be too long before we really start diving into the late game Thaumcraft stuff. Depending, because I've noticed, like, after we got the Thaumium wand, or the silver, the wand, the Thaumcraft, or the Thaumium capped Silverwood wand, or whatever it's called. After we got that wand, it doesn't seem like there's been a ton of gating anymore with tech. It seems like that was the main thing I'd noticed that was really gated. But that is as of yet anyway. We'll see. But I'm going to do a bit of researching and try to get us over here a bit of that stuff unlocked, so that maybe we can go to the outer world before too long. Now, I do think the next magic episode we may work a bit with our wand, because as of right now we haven't messed with the wand caps much, and we really need to get into those. Cool, I need some rotten flesh. But we may start working on our wands and upgrading those and stuff next episode. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please comment, like, subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated. And until next episode, do take care, and I hope to see you guys then. Why is this not giving me rotten flesh? Oh, because I don't have any. Cool. Where did all my rotten flesh go? No. Anyway, I hope you guys join me for next episode, and until then, there we go. Do take care, and I hope to see you guys then.